how do you set up a diet? Step by step. Step number one is to determine what your goal body weight is. And this is where most people make two big mistakes, okay? Mistake number one is they take their current body weight and they use that as their goal body weight. And that's wrong, okay? Because let's say a guy weighs 250 pounds, okay? And he should really weigh 200 pounds. But he sets up his calories, his protein, carbs, fats, etc., for a 250-pound person. That means he's feeding basically an extra 50 pounds that doesn't exist, because he's really a 200-pound guy with 50 pounds of extra fat, not a 250-pound person. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is, even if somebody decides they're going to use their goal body weight, almost everybody does it wrong, okay? That 250-pound person who thinks his goal body weight is 200 pounds, like if he were to lose 50 pounds and get down to 200, he'd be ripped. He probably, unless he's like a strong man or a power lifter or somebody who's really solid with a gut, okay, maybe his goal body weight should be like, 200 pounds. Most people, if they don't work out and you weigh 250 pounds, you probably have to get down closer to 150, 160. So that 50 pounds you think you have to lose is really like 90 to 100 pounds you have to lose, okay? So what is your goal body weight? It's not your lean body weight. Lean body weight is blood, muscle, bone, okay? 0% body fat, how much would you weigh? And that's obviously not something you could really shoot for, because you'd die if you had 0% body fat. So figure out your lean-ish body weight, okay? How much would you weigh if you had the same lean body mass and like 8 to 10% body fat? Because that's something that's sustainable, it's healthy for a man. 8 to 10% body fat is sustainable, it's healthy, you can live a good life, perform physically, perform sexually, have a good mood, not be hungry all the time, and still maintain that. So what is your 8 to 10% body fat weight, okay? And that's your goal body weight. And like I said, most people, people come to me all the time. They're like, I weigh 250. I need to get down to 200. I'll be ripped. I haven't worked out since high school. No, dude, you probably need to get down to like 150 to be ripped, okay? And that's hard to handle because most people don't want to admit that they're skinny, okay? So now that you have your goal body weight, your leanish body weight has been determined, now you go ahead and you figure out what your protein intake has to be. And that is based upon your goal body weight, okay? And then after that, you have to figure out what your carbohydrate intake should be. Carbohydrate intake is based upon what kind of workout you do. Most people do not need any kind of carbohydrates, okay? If you are a weekend warrior or you don't work out at all, okay, and you just want to lose weight and be healthy and have a decent diet, you don't need carbs, okay? If you think, well, I like carbs too much to to go without carbs. If you like carbs too much to go without carbs, you're probably a carb addict like I am. That's probably why you can't lose weight like I couldn't until you drop carbs, because you're just an addict and you have to get rid of them completely or you're going to overindulge, okay? So most people don't need carbs. I gained 18 pounds of muscle in a year and a half. That's like, almost exactly like 1 pound per month average. And I had no carbs the whole time. Okay, so, you do not need carbs to build muscle. Why do you need carbs? If you do huge amounts of high intensity work, okay? And what I'm talking about is when I went on the anaerobics diet and the anaerobics workout, I lost over 30 pounds of fat in under 4 months, okay? And I was ripped to shreds, pure rock hard muscle at the end, okay? I'm talking that Fight Club, Ninja Assassin, American Psycho look, okay? That's the look that I had when I was done. Now, let me tell you, I was also doing like 40 minutes, okay, of HIIT cardio. I would do like upper body plyos, lower body plyos, upper body plyos, lower body plyos, constantly. Then I'd finish it up with burpees, 30-second break, burpees, 30-second break, burpees, 30-second break. That was like one of my workouts. The other workout I alternated with that was jump rope intervals, jump rope intervals, jump rope intervals, jump rope intervals. So I was constantly pushing it 100%, taking a short break to recover, pushing it 100%. And that, whether you sprint, whether you do a high intensity workout like that, You know, even if you just like play tennis or something like that, or you're a fighter where you have to jump in and hit the mitts and hit the mitts and hit the mitts, you know, like I said, tennis where you have to explode left, explode right, move forward, move backwards, anything where you're doing explosive, you may do better with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are based upon your body weight, your goal body weight, your leanish body weight, just like protein, it doesn't change. Okay? So determine whether you need carbs. Most people don't. And if you do need carbs, figure out based upon your leanish body weight. Now, I have not spoken yet about whether you should be, about whether you're cutting or bulking, okay, or your calories. And the reason is your protein intake stays the same whether you're cutting or bulking. Your carbohydrates, if you take them or not, remains the same whether you're cutting or bulking. And the amount of carbs and the timing of the carbs remains the same whether you're cutting or bulking, if you have to take them. Okay? Because like I said, if you're just doing like weights and even weights and doing a few burpees or something at the end, you still don't really need carbohydrates. Okay, great. Moving right along. Now let's talk about cutting and bulking. If you are cutting, okay, you're going to need fewer calories. And since your protein and or carbohydrate stays the same, the only way to vary your caloric intake is by varying your fat intake, because that's the only variable in a diet, okay? If you need to cut, you take in fewer calories. The fewer calories are going to be coming from less fat, okay? If you want to maintain, then I suggest you take in more calories in the form of more fat, okay? So that's where your fat calories basically come in, okay? Your fat calories basically come in whether you're cutting or bulking or maintaining to make up the difference between what you're already eating, protein or protein and carbs, and where you have to be. That the difference in calories is made up by fat, okay? Should you get leaner, have less body fat to burn, okay? It becomes harder for you to burn body fat because there's less of it the leaner you get. Then you need more energy in your food because you're getting less from your stored body fat, so you increase your fat intake once again, okay? If you increase significantly the volume of the training you're doing, and you start to get extremely hungry, whether you're on a bulk or a maintenance diet, you need more calories, you increase your fat intake, okay? So like I said, it starts off with your protein and carbs if you need them. Most people don't. And then after that, you just added fat to see whatever goal it is you're looking for. But that's basically it. That's basically how you set up any kind of a diet, whether it's cutting or bulking or maintaining. Okay, guys. If you want to know exactly how to figure out your macros for every single type of diet you could possibly want to do, okay, I suggest you check out my low-carb cutting and bulking diets. It includes my pure protein diet for getting lean. It includes my low-carb bulking diet if you want to do a lean bulk or you want to maintain. It's a great diet to maintain on, okay? And if you are one of those few people who want to actually do a lot of high-intensity effort, okay, a fighter, you know, a certain type of an athlete, or somebody who just does a whole lot of cardio, like in my, you know, anaerobics workout, then I suggest you check out my anaerobics diet 3.0. It's basically a protein-based diet with fat added in, and it has some carbs before and after your workout, okay? So I'm going to have the links to the anaerobics diet and low-carb cutting and bulking directly below this video if you're watching in YouTube. If you're watching this in IGTV, you just go to my Instagram profile and you'll see links to both the anaerobics diet 3.0 and low-carb cutting and bulking. Check them out, and I will see you guys in the next video.